to day 12 of my 6th annual SLAP challenge. SLAP, S-L-A-P stands for squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. We are doing 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of an ab exercise, and 40 push-ups a day, every single day except Sundays for 40 days. And this is day 12 already. But if you have not joined the challenge yet, it is not too late to start. It's never too late to start. Of course, if you don't necessarily want to join the challenge, you can still just do this workout with me today. You don't have to join the challenge. So stick around. I am going to be explaining and demonstrating each of the exercises that we are doing today. I will provide beginner modifications as well. Then we'll do a quick 5-minute warm up and we'll get our reps done together. But if you would like to join the challenge, it is super easy to join. There is a playlist that contains all of the workouts for this challenge in chronological order. All you have to do is follow along with the playlist. I will link the playlist up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video. I will link it at the very end of this video as well so that you can't miss it. So click on the link for the playlist, open the playlist, save the playlist, and then watch the video for day 1. That video is going to explain everything you need to know. It's going to explain what the challenge is, how to participate, why we're doing it. And also in that video, I went into a lot of detail explaining and demonstrating how to do your squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups with the correct form. And I provided tons of beginner modifications, because this year I am making a concerted effort to ensure that the challenge is accessible for beginners. Even if you have never done a workout before in your life, you can do this challenge with me, I promise. And if you just watch that video from day 1 of the challenge, you will see what I'm talking about. So once you've watched that day 1 video and you understand what the challenge is, you've decided that you would like to participate, just make sure that you start with day 1 on a Wednesday. Do that day 1 workout on any random Wednesday, and from there, all you have to do is just follow along with the playlist and everything will fall into place. It's super easy to follow along. However, if you cannot commit to doing all 40 days of the challenge, then please just commit to doing what you can. It's better to do half of the challenge or a third of the challenge than none of the challenge. So even if you want to just start today, that's fine. You can jump in and start your challenge on day 12. And if it's too much to commit to doing 40 reps of everything, then commit to doing 20 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups every day for 10 days or 20 days or all 40 days if you can. If you're doing it, it's your challenge. So do it in a way that works for you, but it's always better to do something than nothing. So even if you can only commit to participating in a challenge to a lesser degree, please do that. And remember that I am right here doing the challenge right along with you. I'm working out with you every single day, but I'm also here to answer questions. So if at any point during the challenge you have questions about what the challenge is, how everything works, how you can participate, if you have any doubts about the exercises that we're doing on any given day, or questions about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications beyond what I'm providing in the videos, please just ask. It's really important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. I'm always here to help facilitate that. But it's especially important to me that this challenge this year is accessible to super duper ultra day 1 beginners. Like I said, this is my 6th year in a row doing this challenge, and this year I really wanted to make a concerted effort to ensure that beginners can absolutely do this workout with me. So if you are a beginner, you're in the right place. Stay right here. We are going to do our reps together today. I'm going to first explain and demonstrate how to do each exercise with the correct form. I will provide your beginner modifications, then we'll do a quick warm up together and we'll get our reps done together. If you are not a beginner, then the workouts that we're doing this year might not be challenging enough for you. So I'm going to recommend that you check out last year's playlist. Last year was my 5th year in a row doing the challenge, and I made a whole playlist last year. I will link that up here in the iCard as well. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and it will be linked at the very end of this video as well. The workouts we were doing last year, it was the same challenge. It was at least 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, and 40 push-ups a day every single day, except Sundays for 40 days. But the challenge was a lot more difficult last year because the workouts were much more advanced, much more intense. They were generally longer because we were frequently doing more than just 40 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. So we were doing more challenging variations of those exercises. We were also frequently adding weight, and we were incorporating cardio into most of the workouts as well. So if you are more advanced and you want to do this challenge, but you want the challenge to actually challenge you, then I'm going to recommend checking out last year's playlist. But save this playlist as well. Save both playlists, because there might be days when you don't have time to do one of those longer workouts. So if there's a day that you are pressed for time, or you just want something a little less intense, the workouts we're doing this year are perfect. They're great workouts, but they're much simpler, much shorter, much less intense. And if you are in decent shape, you will be able to get most, if not all, of these workouts that we're doing this year complete in about 10 minutes, probably less. It doesn't matter which workout you do every day, and it doesn't even matter if you incorporate your daily reps into a workout. I'm going to be sharing a new workout with you every day, and you are of course invited to do the workout right along with me. But if you don't like the workout that I'm doing that day, if the variations of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups that I'm doing on any given day don't work for you, or if you just don't feel like doing a structured workout, you don't have to do a workout per se. As long as you get your 160 reps done at some point during the day, that's all that matters. The only requirement to participate in the challenge is just that you're doing 40 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups a day. So you can get up first thing in the morning and do 10 squats, 10 lunges, 10 reps of any ab exercise you want, 10 push-ups, any variation you want of those 4 exercises. And then you can just repeat that 3 more times throughout the course of the day. So you can do that again after lunch, do it again after you get home, once more before bed, and that's your 160 reps. So it's your challenge. Do it in whatever way works for you. And again, if you have any questions or if you need help, I'm right here, so please reach out. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video, so if you would prefer to skip straight ahead to the workout, go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to see the exercises demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So today for my squat variation, I am doing a squat plus a side leg lift, and we have done this exercise once already in the challenge. So if you've been following along every day, you already know how to do this exercise. So first, let's start by going over the proper form for your squat. Remember, before you squat, the first thing you want to think about is rolling your shoulders back and down. So imagine that you're trying to tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets. That's going to help you keep your chest lifted nice and high as well. You want to make sure your chest stays lifted high throughout the entire exercise. Then I want you to really tighten up your abs, make sure your entire core is engaged. So I think it helps to imagine that someone is about to punch you in the stomach, and imagine how you would brace for that impact. And then the next thing I want you to think about is actually trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. Because when you do that, that is going to help you keep the weight in your heels for the squat, and it's also going to help you keep your back from rounding like this. You want a nice flat back. So if you push your booty back, thinking that you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, and at the same time, remember that you're keeping those shoulders back and down, chest lifted nice and high. So it's like you're trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. It's going to help keep your spine nice and elongated, and it's going to help you keep your back flat and the weight in your heels as you sink down into your squat. So you don't want to think about squatting straight down, because what's going to tend to happen if you do that is that your knees are going to end about over your toes, and that's not the movement. So instead, you want to think of first hinging at the hips before you sink down into your squat. So really push that booty back, keeping your back flat and keeping the weight in your heels. Do you see how I can actually pick up my toes? That's what you're going for. And then from this position, you can sink down into your squat. Do your best to see if you can at least get your thighs parallel to the ground. Don't push it All right, so work to your own level. I don't want you pushing your body into doing something that it's not ready to do. So if you need to be here, just be here. But the goal eventually is to see if you can at least get your thighs so that they're parallel to the ground. And then once you have sunk as deep into that squat as you're going to, just press your heels into the ground. Visualize actually pushing the ground away from you to return to your starting position. So shoulders back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight. Push the booty back, and then with your back flat and the weight in your heels, sink down into your squat. Then press your heels into the ground, push the ground away from you to stand. So that's just a basic air squat, and if you want to stay there, if you're a beginner, you can stay right there and just do air squats. I'm just going to be adding on a little leg lift. So as I stand, as I come up from my squat, I'm going to shift my weight into one foot so that I can pick up this other foot and just lift the leg to the side. All right, it's not a kick. You can do a kick if you want. There's nothing wrong with doing a kick. It's just not what I'm doing today. I'm just lifting the leg to the side. So my knee is staying more or less straight, and I'm just lifting the leg and then putting it back down. And I'm just going to alternate sides with each rep. So then with my next rep, I'm going to squat, and as I stand, I'm going to shift my weight to the other foot, and then I'm going to pick up this leg and just lift it to the side. Place the foot back down, right into my next rep. So shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight. I'm gonna push my booty back. I'm gonna sink into my squat, keeping my back flat, keeping the weight of my heels. Now I'm gonna press the ground away to stand. I'm going to shift my weight into one foot, lift the opposite leg to the side. Put that foot down, repeat on the other side. Squat, shift the weight into the opposite foot, lift the leg to the side, put the foot down. Again, please make sure you're working to your own level. Don't push your body into doing something it's not ready to do. So if you can't lift your leg super high, not that that's super high, but just lift it as high as you can, okay? So if you're not here with the leg lift, you might be here, and that's fine. Work to your own level. If it helps to hold on to a chair, you can absolutely use a chair to assist you for this squat variation. Just make sure that your chair or some other elevated surface, you could use maybe a bar stool or your kitchen counter, dining room table, the arm of your couch, a weight bench or something like that if you have one. As long as you have access to an elevated surface that is strong enough to support your body weight, sturdy enough so that it's not going to collapse or break when you put weight on it, and stable so that it cannot slide from underneath you as you put weight on it, then any number of elevated surfaces will work. So for example, if you plan on using a chair, that's a great idea, and a chair can be very useful to assist you for this exercise. I just recommend placing your chair on a mat, an exercise mat or a yoga mat, to help it stay put, because I don't want the chair to slide from underneath you. But from there, you can just hold onto your chair for support as you sink down into your squat, and then again, as you lift that leg. If you don't trust yourself, if you're a beginner, or if you have really bad balance and you don't trust yourself to balance on one leg, and it helps to have something there for support, absolutely you should do that. You can also use the chair to assist you with your squats by sitting down into the chair. So please let me know if you need to see those modifications, because if you are unable to do an unassisted squat, you can still do this challenge. You can still do squats. A chair is a great tool to be able to assist you, as long as it is strong enough, sturdy enough, and stable enough to be used safely. And of course, you can eliminate the leg lift altogether if that's not going to work for you, and just stick with your air squats, okay? Work to your own level. So if you're only here for your air squats, great. If you need to hold onto a chair to support you while you do your air squats, great. If you need to squat into a chair, great. As long as you're getting your 40 reps of squats done, you're good. But that's my squat variation today. I'm going to be doing a squat with a side leg lift, alternating sides with each leg lift. And for my lunges, I'm going to be doing side jump lunges. And this is also a lunge variation that you have seen before if you've been following the challenge. So let's go over it real quickly. These are side jump lunges, and so there is a jump involved, but don't worry, I'm going to show you an impact-free modification in case you have bad knees or cranky downstairs neighbors and you don't want to be jumping. But first I'm going to show you the exercise the way I'm doing it. So again, with your lunges, you want to start by tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Your shoulders are back and down, your chest is lifted nice and high. And again, with our lunges, we want to keep reminding ourselves, flat back, weight in the heels, okay? So as you are here in your side lunge position, you want to make sure you're not allowing your back to round. You want to lift that chest high, roll the shoulders back and down, lift your chest high, keep it high, and keep pushing that booty back like you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty so that your weight stays in the heel of this lunging leg, okay? So that's your starting position for the lunge. So you can start here with your feet together. This is just to show you how to get into the position. Step one foot out to the side, and now you're going to bend this leg, the foot you just stepped out to the side, that leg bends. Hinging at the hips, pushing the booty back, keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in this heel. And if you can come down and tap your toe or tap the ground in front of you. Only if you can do so without rounding your back. So you're gonna step to the side, bend this knee, and come down as low as you can into the lunge. But you're not just trying to tap the ground just to tap the ground. So if the only way you can tap the ground is to round your back, then don't worry about tapping the ground, just tap your knee. Sink as deep into the lunge as you can without rounding your back, okay? And then from there, we're just going to jump and switch the position of the legs. So I'm in my starting position here. All I'm going to do is jump this foot out to the side. At the same time, I'm going to jump this outside foot in. This leg will straighten, this leg will bend. So I'm just swapping the position, okay? So I'm gonna jump and switch the position of my feet. All right, so I was here, now I'm here. My weight is now in this heel. Always your weight is in the heel of the foot of your lunging leg, or the leg that's bent, okay? So I'm pushing my booty back, my chest is lifted nice and high, my back is flat, my weight is in this heel. All right, so then as I switch the position of my feet, there's one quick second where right here, both of my feet are off the ground at the same time, so it's a little jump. If you can't do the jump, then just step the feet one at a time. So you're here, instead of jumping and lifting both feet up off of the ground, you're just going to step this foot in and then just step the other foot out to the side, bend this knee and sink into your lunge position. Now, the foot that's on farthest out, you gotta go, you're gonna get squished. Over here. A big earwig. There you go. I don't want to be working out amongst squished earwigs. Maybe that's a me thing, I don't know. But okay, so you're here, then you're just going to take this outside foot, take the leg that's straight, step it in, step the opposite leg out. All right, so your weight is always staying here in the center so that it's in this, your weight is in the heel of this foot, of the leg that's in the center, and the leg that's being extended out to the side is bearing very little of your weight, okay? Make sense? If you're a beginner, you really can shorten up your range of motion, so you don't necessarily have to step your foot out so wide. You can be here, okay? Just work to your own level, and again, if you need to hold on to a chair for support, that can be really helpful for this exercise. So just make sure that your chair is strong enough to support your weight. Make sure it's sturdy. Nothing that's going to collapse or break or fold up on you. Okay, don't use like a folding chair or anything. Make sure your chair is well made and it's in good condition. It's not going to collapse or break or fold up when you put weight on it. And make sure that it can't slide from underneath you. So place it on top of an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. And then holding on to the chair for support, you can do your lunges with your hands on the chair, or you can have your feet wide apart and just lunge side to side like this, so that there are fewer moving parts. If you're an absolute beginner, that might be more manageable for you. These are modifications that we went over on day one, and I also think I went over these ultra beginner modifications for the first like 8 or 9 days of the challenge at least. So I'm doing my best to explain it now, but I'm also trying to make the videos a little bit shorter so that they don't take so much of my time. But if what I'm explaining and demonstrating is not clear, please go back and watch any of those videos from days like 1 through 9, or again, I'm here to help, so please just ask. But if you're a super duper beginner, the lunges can be made much more manageable by just holding onto a chair for support. It's that easy, and then just shortening up your range of motion. Really, the only important thing is that you're remembering back flat, weight in the heels, and work to your own level. But that's my lunge variation for today. I'm doing side jump lunges. You can do any side lunge variation that works for you. Moving on to abs, I'm doing what I call pikes. I think they're really called jackknives, but I don't know, I've just always called them pikes. So I'm going to be coming down onto my mat for this one. If you can't get down onto a mat, remember that you always have your standing ab crunch, your standing oblique crunch that I show you pretty much every day. So if you have your strong, sturdy, stable chair here, you can grab onto your chair for support, or you can hold onto a wall for support. And then all you're going to do is extend one leg out to the side, take your other hand, your free hand, and place it behind your head or your neck. And then you're gonna lift this leg, bending the knee, and as you do that, you're going to crunch, bringing your knee towards your elbow, okay? Or bringing your elbow towards your knee. As close as you can get it. If you cannot actually touch knee to elbow, then just come as close as you can. The point is to work to your own level, just really feel that crunch in your obliques, okay? So that's your standing ab exercise. If you need a standing modification, just make sure if you do that you end up doing a total of 20 reps on each side so that you're even. But if you're able to come down to the mat for pikes with me, or jackknives, you're going to start down here on your mat, all the way down on your back. You're going to extend your legs straight, and you're going to extend your arms up overhead. And then from here, think about lifting your body like a V, okay? So you're just going to keep your legs more or less straight, keeping your arms more or less straight. You're going to lift your legs, and at the same time, you're going to sit up and touch your toes. So it's going to look something like this. When I do this, I don't really touch my toes, I more touch my ankles. It doesn't matter, but that's the point, is that you're lifting your legs and your arms at the same time and lowering them at the same time. It can be pretty difficult. So if it's too difficult to lift your arms and legs simultaneously and lower them simultaneously, you can separate the movement. So you can start here, then lift your legs first and keep your legs elevated, and then basically do just like a toe touch, just like what we did for yesterday's workout. Just sit up and bring your fingertips up to tap your toes, then lower the arms and lower the legs, okay? It's still pretty difficult, but it's a lot easier than lifting the arms and legs at the same time. So you can just do leg lift, toe touch, then lower the arms, lower the legs. That's one modification. That's a lot. So if you want, you can just do leg lifts. Okay, so you can, when I do just the leg lifts, I like to just have my hands, place my hands underneath my booty for comfort, but you can just do like this half of the movement. Just lift and lower the legs, okay? Or you can do just the toe touch, just like this was our ab exercise yesterday. So you can lift the legs and then just keep them here, tap the toes, and then that would be 1 rep, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so whatever modification is going to work for you is fine. And if none of those modifications work for you, remember that any ab exercise you want to do will work. So any crunch variation, any sit-up variation, any ab exercise at all is fine. So just pick something that works for you, but I'm going to be doing jackknives. They're going to be called pikes in the description box down below the video, but most people call them jackknives. So straight arms, straight legs, then just lift the arms and legs at the same time, bring them together in the middle, and then lower arms and legs at the same time. be doing, you do any ab exercise that works for you. And then finally for push-ups, I am going to be doing what I call reptile push-ups. I've seen a lot of people call these Spider-Man push-ups, but to me, a Spider-Man push-up is something entirely different. That is an exercise that I do sometimes, but it's not what I'm doing today. I call these reptile push-ups. But basically it's just a push-up with a side knee tuck. So as you're doing the push-up, you're going to take one knee and tuck it towards your elbow on the same side. You'll see that in just a second, but first let's just go over how to do a push-up correctly so that you're minding your form and you reduce your risk of injury. So you're going to start by coming down into your plank position. So your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, and then you're going to step your feet back, making sure that in this plank position your back is straight. You're not allowing your back to arch like this. So if you find your hips or your belly kind of drooping towards the mat, I want you to tighten up your ab muscles. Use your ab muscles to lift your hips up high and keep them high. If your hips are slightly elevated like this, that's not terrible, because in that position my back is still flat. So doing the push-ups with your hips slightly elevated is not going to be bad for your back and will actually make the push-ups a little bit easier, so don't worry about that too much. What you want to avoid is the opposite. You want to avoid allowing your hips or your belly to droop towards the mat like this, because that's causing my back to arch. Okay, so ideally you want your body in one straight line. So this, no, don't do your push-ups like this. This, not the end of the world, but ideally you want this, so that your body is in one perfectly straight line from your heels to your shoulders. And you want to make sure that you're not kind of sinking down into your shoulders like this. This is easy to do if you're not used to doing planks, if you lack upper body strength, if you lack core strength, it's easy to kind of sink into your elbows. You want to fight against that. So instead, I want you to think of, if you're here, I want you to think about pushing the ground away from you, pushing yourself as far away from the ground as you can so that your shoulders are away from your ears. And make sure that you're keeping your head in line with your spine. So don't allow your head to droop like this. If you imagine that you are standing up against a wall, think about kind of gently pressing your head into the wall. You want to be straight up and down. So you don't want to overcorrect by hyperextending your neck. You just want your neck to be in line with your spine, nice neutral position, and then make sure your head stays still. So once you found your beautiful plank position, nothing moves, okay? This is a moving plank. So if you literally imagine that your body is like a 2x4 and you're just lowering this plank of wood up and down, but the wood itself is staying perfectly straight, nothing's moving. You're just bending your elbows and lowering your chest down towards the mat. You want to get your chest as close to the mat as you can. Your goal is to actually touch the mat with your chest, but you might not be there yet. Work to your own level. If you are unable to get your chest all the way down to the mat, that's fine. Just shorten up your range of motion. The important thing is that you want to not break that straight line from your heels to your shoulders. So if you can only come down this far without lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat, then that's fine. That's your push-up. If you can only come down this far without lowering your forehead down to the mat, then that's fine, okay? The goal isn't to just touch the mat. The goal is to keep that nice straight line from your heels to your shoulders. So if you can only come down this far without sacrificing that straight line from your heels to your shoulders, then you're going to just come down as far as you can, and then you're going to press the ground away from you again to push yourself back up. But keep your back flat, keep your head still. So make sure you're not bobbing your forehead up and down, and make sure that you're not allowing your back to arch by letting your hips or your belly kind of droop down towards the mat. And if you're doing knee push-ups, exactly the same thing. So you're going to start here with your hands directly underneath your shoulders, come up into your plank position, And now from here, all you're going to do is put your knees down on the mat. Again, you want to make sure you're pressing the ground away from you so that your shoulders are away from your ears. So make sure you're not sinking down into your shoulders like this. Press the ground away, nice high plank position. Head is in line with the spine. I'm not allowing my head to drop down like this. I'm not hyperextending my neck. My head is in a nice neutral position in line with my spine. My abs are super strong and tight and engaged, and my back is flat. I'm not allowing my hips or my belly to droop down towards the mat like this, causing my back to arch. I'm going to use my ab muscles. Lift my hips up high, and they're going to stay right there. And then from here, all I'm going to do is bend my shoulders, lower my chest as close to the mat as I can, without breaking that straight line from my knees to my shoulders. And then I'm going to press the mat away and push myself back up. If you cannot get your chest all the way down to the mat, shorten up your range of motion. You can be here, and that's fine. A little baby push-up is amazing if that's the best you can do. But what's not amazing is getting here and then compensating for the fact that you can't get your chest all the way down to the mat by lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat, or by lowering your forehead down to the mat. All right? Shorten up your range of motion if you need to. You don't have to get your chest all the way down to the mat. The important thing is that your abs are tight, your back is flat, your head is in line with your spine, your shoulders are away from your ears, and your body's in one beautifully perfect straight line from your knees to your shoulders. And remember, if that is still too difficult for you, that you can do knee push-ups with your hands on the wall or on a chair. You can do wall push-ups from your feet. You can use your kitchen counter to assist you with your push-ups. The higher you elevate your hands for the push-ups, the easier the push-up is going to be. So if you need to see any of those modifications, please just ask. I do think that most beginners can manage some variation of knee push-ups, but if you can't, that doesn't mean you can't do a push-up. It doesn't mean you can't do the challenge. You absolutely can. So if you need to see those modifications, again, days 1 through 9 of the challenge, I think in every single one of those videos, I think I covered beginner push-up modifications that include standing options like wall push-ups. So if you need to see those, you can check out some of those earlier videos, or you can ask me and I'll be happy to show you that. But remember, any push-up variation that you can manage is fine. I'm going to be doing reptile push-ups. So let me first show you what I'm doing so that you can see what it's going to look like. I'm going to start up here in my plank position. And now as I bend my elbows and lower my chest down to the ground, I'm going to pick up one foot and tuck the knee towards the side so that I'm bringing this knee towards the elbow on the same side. So as I bend my elbows and lower my chest down to the mat, I'm picking up this foot, tucking the knee towards the elbow on the same side, and then as I push myself back up, I'm straightening the leg and returning to my starting position. Alternating sides with each rep. So with my next rep, I'm going to pick up the other foot, and as I bend my elbows and lower my chest down to the mat, I'm going to bend this knee towards the elbow on the same side. And then as I push myself back up and return to my starting position, this leg straightens and I place the foot back down next to the other one. I think if you're doing knee push-ups, your best option is to just do the push-up from your knees the way you normally would. So do your push-up, and then if you want to add the knee tuck, just add it afterwards. So come up into your plank position and then just tuck knee to elbow. Then return to your plank position, put the knees down. Alternate sides with each rep. So then another push-up, then come back up into your plank position, and then do your knee tuck on the other side. So just pick up one foot, bend the leg, and tuck the knee to the side, bringing your knee towards the elbow on that same side. Then straighten the leg, coming back to your plank position, and continue with another push-up. I think that's probably the best modification from your knees, but you don't necessarily have to do the knee tuck. Any push-up variation you want to do is fine, so you can eliminate the knee tuck and just do knee push-ups, or you can do some other variation of knee push-ups if you want, whatever works for you. But that's it, that's all for exercises. Now here is the format. I'm going to be doing 2 little combos, and the first combo is going to be push-ups and squats. So I'm going to be doing reptile push-ups, 2 reps of reptile push-ups. Then I'm going to stand and I'm going to do 4 squats with a side leg lift, alternating sides with each rep. And that's 1 set of my little combo. We're going to do that 10 times. So after completing that combo a total of 10 times, we will be finished with our squats. We're doing 4 squats with each combo. So 4 squats times 10 combos is 40 squats. So squats will be done. By the time we finish 10 sets of that combo, we will have also completed 20 push-ups. So our push-ups will be half done. After 10 reps of that combo, we will move on to our side jump lunges. We're going to do all 40 side jump lunges at once. It'll go by really quickly, but if 40 in a row is too many for you, you can do 20. And then you can do your final 20 lunges after our second combo. That's fine. Break it up in whatever way you need to make it manageable for you. But I'm going to be doing all 40 of my side jump lunges at once, and it'll go by really quickly. It just takes a minute or 2. Then I'm going to move on to 1 more combo. So this combo is going to be push-ups and abs. So it's going to be the same pattern. I'm going to do 2 reps of push-ups, 4 reps of my ab exercise. So 2 reptile push-ups and then 4 jackknives. That's 1 set. We will complete 10 sets. So that will be a total of 40 jackknives. So that's our abs, and it will be a total of 20 push-ups. So that's all 40 push-ups, and that's it. That's our 160 reps. Hopefully that's clear. Please remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to do the workout right along with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format, or if you need help making changes or modifications, if you have questions about the exercises, any doubts about how to do them with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications, I'm right here to help, so please just ask. If you are a beginner especially, and if you're new to doing these home workouts with me, there are 3 things that I really want you to keep in mind to help reduce your risk of injury. Because if you get hurt, you're going to have to drop out of the challenge or take a few days off. It can be really discouraging and it can break your momentum. So we want to avoid injuries at all costs. So there are 3 ways that I want to talk about that you can do that. The first one is to make sure that you understand the movement. You have to make sure that you understand what it is you're asking your body to do, and you have to make sure that you are understanding how to do each exercise with the correct form. So again, if you have any questions about how to do that, please just ask. But simply doing the exercises with the proper form is the #1 most important thing that you can do to help reduce your risk of injury. The second most important thing that you can do is taking the time to warm up before the workout. You do not want to jump into this or any workout with cold muscles, because warm muscles are more pliable, and so it makes it less likely that you are going to strain or pull something. If you think of a piece of dry spaghetti, think about taking a piece of spaghetti that's dry and trying to stretch it, trying to pull on it. Nothing's gonna happen, or you could even break it, right? If you try to bend it in half, it's gonna snap on you. But if you take that piece of spaghetti and warm it up, maybe in some boiling water for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden you can stretch it, you can bend it, you can move it all around because it's warm and it's pliable. So I want you to think of your cold muscles as that dry piece of spaghetti. So if you just jump into the workout and start trying to sink really deep into your squats and your lunges and everything, you're really increasing the likelihood that you're going to strain or pull a muscle. If you just take 5 minutes to warm up your muscles, they will be more pliable, and therefore they will be less likely to become strained or pulled during the workout. You'll be able to explore your full range of motion as long as you're not pushing it. Remember not to push your body into doing something that it is not ready to do. It's super important to work to your own level, but your own level is going to be less risky if your muscles are warm and more pliable, okay? So that's the second really important thing that you can do to help reduce your risk of injury, is just taking time to warm up your muscles before you begin the workout. And the third thing that you can do to really help reduce your risk of injury is taking the time to stretch every single day. It is so important to stretch after the workouts, especially if you're a beginner and especially if you are experiencing muscle soreness. Taking the time to stretch after the workout is going to go a long way towards helping to reduce the amount of muscle soreness that you're feeling. So it's going to help you feel better during the challenge. It is also going to help prevent your risk of injury moving forward, because you'll be training your muscles to be more flexible and more pliable in general, so that you're less susceptible to a pull or a strain during a future workout. And taking some time to stretch every day is also just going to improve your flexibility and your mobility. And those are two really undervalued aspects to your total fitness. So take the time to do the reps with me every day. That's going to build strength and stamina, and then take the time to do your stretching every day. That's going to increase your flexibility and your mobility, and that is going to make the challenge easier moving forward, and it's going to improve your daily life. Honestly, just being able to move your body in different ways, being able to build functional strength and get up if you fall. I mean, these are things that are really, really important, especially as you age. So if you're having joint pain, increasing your flexibility and your mobility is just going to really go a long way to improving your quality of life, and it's going to help make the aging process a lot easier. So it's really important that you make sure you're taking time to do your stretching every day, not only to alleviate soreness, not only to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward, but just to improve your flexibility and your mobility and improve your quality of life. If you need help with a stretching routine that is geared towards beginners and people who lack flexibility, please let me know. There's a stretching routine that I discovered years and years ago on YouTube. I loved it. It works for me. I've been doing it ever since. So if you want that link, please just ask. I'm more than happy to share it with you, but any kind of stretching routine that works for you is what you should do. Just make sure you're not skipping your stretching. It's super important. And then finally, I just want to remind you really quickly before we begin the workout, especially if you are going to be working out along with the video, please remember to go at your own pace and mind your form. Do not sacrifice your form for speed. If you're in decent shape, you'll probably be faster than I am, and that's great, as long as you're not sacrificing your form to get there. If you're slower than I am, that's also great. If you're doing the reps, it's great no matter how long it takes you. But don't start racing to keep up with me. If you're slower than me, just be where you are. Be slower than me. It's so important that you go at your own pace. If you fall behind, or if you need to pause and rest, just pause the video and come back when you're ready. Challenge yourself. If you need a rest break, challenge yourself to keep the rest break as short as you can, but don't come back until you feel that you have enough strength and enough stamina to continue with good form. So challenge yourself to keep any rest breaks that you might find necessary as short as you can, but rest for as long as you need. All right, so if you are ready to go ahead and do this workout with me, grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If not, a towel might suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. But if you're doing push-ups from your knees, or if you're doing jackknives with me, you are going to be more comfortable with something soft beneath you. So grab a mat if you have one. Grab a strong, sturdy, stable chair or some other sort of elevated surface if you need assistance with any of these exercises. And then pause the video, go get dressed, meet me right back here. We're going to do a quick 5-minute warm-up together, and then we'll go ahead and get our reps done. All right, so as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our quick 5-minute warm up. So you're just going to let your head fall to one side, just letting your ear kind of fall towards your shoulder. And then you're gonna place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. You're not pulling your head down. You're just resting your hand there and letting gravity do the work of gently stretching this side of your neck by pulling your ear towards your shoulder. Switch sides. So just rest the hand on top of the head, allowing gravity to pull your ear towards your shoulder so you're not actively pulling down on your head. And make sure you're not letting your other shoulder creep up like this. You want your shoulders down. The next thing we're gonna do is some head rolls. So you're gonna start by just letting your chin fall to your chest and then to the other shoulder and then back. And each time I do a roll, I'm just letting my head get heavier and heavier and just allowing my whole upper body to just kind of fall down in front of me. Now we're just gonna do some shoulder rolls. So roll your shoulders to the back, really exaggerate that movement. Make those circles as big as you can. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. And now we're gonna do some arm circles. So extend your arms out to the side and start with small circles. And then little by little, you can start to make your circles bigger and bigger until finally you're exploring your full range of motions and swinging your arms as big as you can. Now you're gonna step your feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, bend the knees, and sweep your hands down in front of you, and then stretch them up overhead. And with each squat, you're gonna sink a little lower, stretch a little higher, until you're sweeping your fingertips across the ground. Keep your feet wide. We're just gonna do some gentle side-to-side lunges. Then add the arm. So you're stretching across your body. Think of trying to throw your arm across the room. Like you're really trying to touch the wall over there. Now just bring the feet together and you're gonna start with a little march. And as the interval progresses, you're gonna start slowly driving those knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can, feeling a little stretch in your glutes. And now we're gonna do the same thing with a jog. So start with a nice light jog, and then little by little, as the interval progresses, start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until you're driving them up as high as you can. Now for our little booty kicks. So we're still in a nice light jog, but you're kicking your feet up behind you, trying to kick yourself in the booty with your heel. Now for this next one, you may need to hold on to a chair for support. If not, you can just have your hands on your hips. You're just gonna swing one leg, front and back. So if it's too difficult to balance here, just hold on to a chair or the wall for support. Switch legs. So balancing on one leg, and then just taking the other leg, swinging it in front of you and behind you. Loosening up the legs, loosening up the hips. Now you're gonna just draw a little semicircle on the floor with your big toe. So the leg extends out in front and then around behind you. Little by little, you're lifting up that foot a few inches up off the ground. Switch sides. So start with your foot on the ground. With each semicircle, just kind of lift the leg a little higher. And then finally, I like to bend my knee, kind of drive that knee up in front of me, and then guide it around with my hand. Finally, we're gonna stretch our hamstrings. So again, if you wanna grab a chair or the wall, that might be helpful to get into this stretch, because you wanna try to keep your back as flat as you can. It's just going to make the hamstring stretch more effective. It's not that you can't round your back. It's really not gonna do anything to hurt you, but it's going to help just maximize the effectiveness of the stretch if you can keep your back as flat as possible. So using a chair or something can help with that. You don't need to use one if you don't want to. But that's our 5 minutes. I always just like to spend a few extra seconds in this hamstring stretch just to really make sure that my legs are nice and loose and ready for the workout. All right, so now our muscles are nice and warm. Let's go ahead and begin the workout. We are starting with our push-ups and squat combo. 2 push-ups, 4 squats, times 10 rounds. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So come down into your plank position. 2 push-ups. Step the feet in and stand. 4 squats. So squat and lift the leg, alternating sides with each rep. That's 3 and 4. Now we're gonna repeat that 9 more times. Do your best. So 2 more push-ups. 4 more squats. Whatever squat variation you're doing, whatever push-up variation you're doing, you're gonna follow the same pattern. That's 2. 8 more, do your best. I think that might have been 10, but I'm not sure. I also think I might have lost track at some point, so I'm gonna do one more set just to make sure that I'm completing all my reps. 4 more squats. That's at least 10. I'm pretty sure. All right, so if you need to pause and rest, pause and rest. If not, let's get right into our side jump lunges. So starting down here in your lunge position, you're just gonna jump and switch the position of your legs. So jump and switch the feet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to 40. Do your best. That's 40. So lunges are done. Squats are done. Push-ups are half done. So now we're finishing up with our push-ups and abs combo. 2 push-ups, 4 jackknives, times 10 rounds. So same pattern as the first combo, but instead of squats, we're doing abs. All right, so I'm gonna start towards one end of my mat. 2 reptile push-ups. Roll over. Coming down onto my back, and now 4 jackknives. And roll over. That's 1 set. We're gonna do 9 more, so do your best. I like to just go back and forth. So now I'm starting on the other side of my mat. 2 reptile push-ups. I'm gonna roll over. So I'm in the middle of my mat. 4 jackknives, or pikes, whatever you call them. And roll over so that I'm back to this side of my mat. That's 2 sets. I'm gonna zip it so I can pick up my pace. We have to do that 8 more times. So do your best.
mind's wandering. Forgot my knee tuck. Reptile push-ups. Almost there, just 2 more rounds, let's push. Move around a little, shake out the legs, shake out the arms, maybe stretch the shoulders, stretch the quads a little. The important thing is that you're not collapsing on your mat. Get up, kind of keep your circulation going, keep the blood moving while you allow your heart rate to normalize a little bit. So my timer right now says 11 minutes and 6 seconds, but I should have brought the timer down onto the mat with me so that I could stop it as soon as I finished that final rep of abs. So I'm going to just estimate about 5 seconds that it took me from the time I finished that last rep of Pikes or jackknives till the time that I got up and stopped my timer. And I'm going to count my official score for today as 11 minutes and 1 second. I wanted to finish in under 10 minutes. I didn't do that, but I worked hard, I got my reps done, that's all that matters. But whether it took you 6 minutes or 11 minutes or 30 minutes, as long as you got your 160 reps done, amazing job. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee, so we have just 1 rep left to go. If you are a beginner, let me just walk you through how to do a beginner bonus burpee. I'm going to include a push-up with my burpee. If you've had enough of push-ups for the day, you can eliminate the push-up. The bonus burpee is mandatory. It is part of the challenge. You must do your bonus burpee after each workout, but not all burpee variations contain a push-up. There are a million different burpee variations. Many of them include a push-up, many of them do not. So you can feel free to eliminate the push-up, but you have to do some variation of a bonus burpee with me. It is part of the challenge, okay? So I'm going to include a push-up with my burpee. Feel free to eliminate it, but you're going to start by standing in the middle of your mat. You're going to bend down and place your hands flat on the mat in front of you, and then you're going to step your feet back so that you're in a plank position. Knees down for the push-up if you want. If not, you can eliminate it. Step the feet in and stand. Come up onto your toes if you can, and if you want, you can even add a little jump. If you are not a beginner and you would like to do your push-up from the toes, let's go ahead and just do one final bonus burpee together. Here we go. When you are ready, final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. So please make sure that you are taking a good 15 to 20 minutes to do your stretching. Right now, immediately after the workout is the best
time to get your stretching done because your muscles are already nice and warm. The same way that you don't want to jump into the workout with cold muscles, you don't want to jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles. So right now is going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to do your stretching. But if you absolutely do not have 15 or 20 minutes right now to do your stretching, that's fine. You can do it later on in the day. Just remember that if you do your stretching later in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you are going to need to take 5 minutes or so to warm them back up before you begin your stretching routine. So doing your stretching later on in the day is fine, just as long as you don't skip your stretching. It's super important. Before I get my stretching done, I'm going to add on 20 minutes of moderate paced cardio with my jump rope. That is why I am holding Rude Becca. Rude Becca is my adorable black jump rope with these cute little white skulls on the handles. And if you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, there is a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code RUDEBECCA to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. The additional cardio is not required. It is not officially part of the challenge. But I just want you to know that I am doing it after every single workout. This is how I do this challenge every year. After every workout, I tack on 20 to 30 minutes or more of additional cardio. Why am I doing that? Because I am using this challenge to get myself back in shape. I want to lose weight. I want to improve my stamina. I want to strengthen my heart and my lungs. So the additional cardio really goes a long way towards helping me to accelerate that process. And it helps me to see results faster, which encourages me to keep going. If you cannot manage to, I know 6 workouts a week, that's a lot of cardio sessions if you're adding cardio after every workout, believe me, I know. So if 6 cardio sessions a week is too much, you just don't have the time for it or you don't have the stamina for it yet, see if you can just at least commit to adding on 2 or 3 cardio sessions a week. If you are also looking to use this challenge to lose weight, to get in shape, to increase your stamina, it's just going to go a long way towards helping to accelerate that process for you. I want you to be able to see the results of all your hard work. This is going to help you to see those results faster, and I think that you will be much more happy with your results at the end of the challenge if you add on the additional cardio at least 2 or 3 days a week. It doesn't have to be jump rope. Any kind of moderate paced cardio is fine if you want and if you have the time. So you could go for a jog or a bike ride or a hike. You can do up and down the steps. You could work on your heavy bag if you have a heavy bag. If you have access to something like an elliptical or a treadmill or an exercise bike, hop on one of those for 30 minutes. If you have access to a pool, you can go swimming. It doesn't matter. Any kind of cardio exercise that works for you is fine. Even just a brisk walk around your neighborhood is great. So again, the additional cardio is not required. It is not officially part of the challenge, but it is strongly recommended. But our 160 reps for the day are done. We have completed our bonus burpee, so that is officially a wrap on day 12. I hope you liked this one. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. Thank you to everyone who's doing this challenge with me. If you haven't started the challenge yet, it is not too late to join. It is never too late to join. You can jump in and start today, or you can start on day 1. Just remember to start day 1 on a Wednesday, and then all you have to do is follow along with the playlist and everything will fall into place perfectly for you. It is super easy to follow along. But even if you are not doing the challenge, and even if you are not working out with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything is unclear about the challenge, how it works, why we're doing it, where to begin, how to participate. If anything is unclear about the format of today's workout, how all of the exercises fit together, how you can customize the format and modify it to suit your current fitness level or your time constraints. If you have questions about any of the specific exercises that we were doing in today's workout, or any general questions about squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any help with beginner modifications, I am right here to help, so please just ask. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all right back here tomorrow for day 13. Bye.